very hearty congratulations to our new BPharm entrants and your parents to take the right decision for you in choosing Lloyd Institute for shaping your career. These foundation classes, which we start from today, will serve as a basis for students for the undergraduate level and give them a tasting of the course. It will give students an opportunity to understand the pharmacy field before progressing to the 4-year degree program. We shall be covering a wide range of topics which may include current updates on pharmaceutical industry, career options in pharmacy profession, basic chemistry, biology, computers, and their applications in the field of pharmacy. I welcome our Group Director, Chief Strategy Officer and Head of Growth, Lloyd, Dr. Vandana Arora Sethi. A very, very warm welcome, ma'am. Before we start with the foundation classes, I would like to give a brief snapshot of Lloyd Institute. So, starting with this, well, the vision of Lloyd is to become a globally recognized education and research organization in the field of pharmaceutical sciences and produce quality professionals to contribute to the well-being of society and growth of pharmaceutical industries. Our mission is to produce high-quality professionals with quality education, technical training, to promote innovation, research, entrepreneurship, to inculcate high morals, professional and ethical values amongst our students, and to create an environment of continuous upgradation and higher studies to meet professional, economic, and social standards. We started our journey of excellence in 2004, after which we started our MPharm course in pharmaceutics in 2010, MPharm QA in 2011. NIUFTI, the job fest, which started in 2016, is an opportunity where students of various pharma institutions interact face-to-face with bigwigs of the industry and get recruitment options in multinational companies. In 2018, our BPharm program was NBA accredited, another milestone promoting international quality standards. We collaborated with DIPSIRU, the first only pharmacy university in India for academic and research purpose. In 2020, we started several skill development programs under the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. We received the Best Pharmacy College Award in Uttar Pradesh for outstanding and exemplary contribution towards education, skill development, and research. This year, we are starting an undergraduate course in forensic sciences, and we have many, many milestones more to achieve. We have a sophisticated research lab for students to perform their research work. The Lloyd Institute of Management and Technology has been recognized as Scientific and Industrial Research Organization (HERO) under the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, Government of India. Our USPs include NBA accreditation, academic and research collaboration, skill development programs, DSIR approval, NIUFTI job fest, and most importantly, dear students, you all are in the hand of competent and talented faculty members who shall guide you throughout in shaping your future. So I would now like to introduce Vandana ma'am with everybody. Ma'am is a gold medalist from Delhi University with a work experience of more than 20 years, including industrial experience. She has more than 80 research publications in national and international reviews and has guided more than 50 MPharm projects. She is a recipient of several awards and is strongly committed to progressive and innovative methodology. Thank you so much, ma'am, once again for taking out time and interacting with our new entrants. Ma'am will be speaking on the changing phase of pharmacy, a must-know for pharmacy aspirants. So over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Shilpa. And there is no audience to clap for you, so I will do. And for such a beautiful introduction to Lloyd and our achievements. Also, a big round of applause to all the students who could get selected for B Pharma program at Lloyd Institute of Management and Technology and Lloyd School of Pharmacy, which both belong to Lloyd Group of Institutions. These two colleges are amongst the 9 colleges that Lloyd Group of Institution has, including Lloyd Law College and an engineering college, 2 management colleges, 1 PGDM college, and 1 education institute. Mind you that I will not be speaking for more than 30 to 35 minutes. So I would request everybody to stay focused for the next 30 minutes because this is our first interaction on this online platform. मैं अपनी कम्युनिकेशन इंग्लिश और हिंदी दोनों में रखूंगी क्योंकि बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं जो इंग्लिश में बहुत कन्वर्सेंट अभी नहीं है. आई एम श्योर अगले 1-2 साल में आप लोग हो जाएंगे. और बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स भी हैं जो अभी आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग कि बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स भी होंगे जिन्होंने ये सेशन ज्वाइन किया होगा. एंड फॉर बेटर क्लैरिटी ताकि जो मैं कहना चाह रही हूँ वो आप बराबर समझ पा रहे हैं और लैंग्वेज हम दोनों के बीच में बैरियर नहीं बन पा रहा है. सो अ वेरी वेरी वार्म वेलकम on this Lloyd's platform to all the students who have taken admission in 2022. Good afternoon to all my dear most faculty as well who have taken out time on a Sunday afternoon to be present in this session. So much has been said about Lloyd by Dr. Shilpa, and I am really a proud member of Lloyd family. We have achieved so much in the last 18 years at Lloyd's, from Lloyd's inception till now, that each student who passed out from the first batch of 2004 to now has been really close to my heart. They have achieved such great heights in their career. बहुत सारे बच्चे 2005, 6, 7, 2010, 12 इन सब बैचेस के जो स्टूडेंट्स थे पास आउट अभी करियर में बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं. Some of them are entrepreneurs, उनके अपने businesses हैं, and they come back to the institute to hire their juniors, which is again a very proud moment for us. And we feel that it is their hard work which has brought such laurels to the institute as well. But yes, it is the institute's faculty also which has taken all the efforts to groom these students to where they are now. Also, in so many years, the achievements we have had, including Dipsaru collaboration, is such a proud feeling because we are one of the very privileged institutes to get collaboration with Delhi Pharmaceutical Sciences University, which is located in New Delhi. So you, my dear students, will be the privileged ones to walk into Dipsaru for any of your research work, which you might want to do throughout your bachelor years or your master years or even later on. Also, a lot of events that we do are in collaboration with Dipsaru. So there is a lot of intermingling of students from both the campuses. So you are going to be, seeing how privileged you are to be a part of Lloyd's Pharmacy program. जो अभी हम बात करने वाले हैं वो फार्मेसी प्रोफेशन के बारे में है. मैं समझती हूँ हम 12वीं तक जितनी भी पढ़ाई करते हैं, वी स्टडी केमिस्ट्री, फिजिक्स, बायोलॉजी, सम स्टूडेंट्स स्टडी इकोनॉमिक्स एंड अदर मैथमेटिक्स और द लैंग्वेज कोर्सेज विच इज इंग्लिश और हिंदी और रादर बोथ समटाइम्स. तो pharmacy as a subject or any of things related to pharmacy are not taught till class 12th. It is a very, very new thing that you are getting into. All the subjects, the subject names are going to be very new to you. That is the reason why we have decided to start first ever foundation course for you students. This foundation course, which is going to start from tomorrow onwards, is going to lay the platform. It is going to build a strong base so that you can understand the subjects which shall be taught to you. Now, these could be basic chemistry subjects which you are taught in chemistry, or it could be slightly new terms, slightly more sophisticated, more complicated terms जो आपने अभी तक नहीं सुने हैं. लेकिन अगर आप ये फाउंडेशन कोर्स को सीरियसली अटेंड करेंगे, you will see that your first semester becomes a cakewalk. जो सब्जेक्ट पहले दिन आप आके पढ़ेंगे, you will see that आपका already base इतना strong हो चुका है that you will not have to struggle much with the subjects. Though the subject names are going to be different, but you will realize that a lot of curriculum which is there within the subject is as good as what you've learned in class 12. Like chemistry is going to be advanced chemistry, medicinal chemistry, organic, inorganic chemistry, which will be a carry further from what you have already read. So I urge everybody, before we make it mandatory, I urge everybody, because we understand you are all responsible students. आपने 12th clear किया है very responsibly with very good percentages. So everybody, all students, we want 100% attendance to be present for these foundation classes. They are very, very essential. What we are going to be talking now is about the pharmaceutical profession as a whole and the changing landscape of pharma industry. So let's call it a landscape or a changing phase of pharma industry. What happened? How did this change begin? Before this, I will tell you what pharma is actually. What is a pharmaceutical industry? So let's understand it in the form of a story. कहानी सुनना सबको पसंद है? So let's understand as pharma as the story of a drug or the story of a medicine. And now is also the time when you start calling your medicines as drugs. And these drugs are not narcotic substances, जो कि आप अभी तक समझते हैं. These drugs are a synonym for medicines. जो आप दवाई खाते हैं, उसको, now that you are in the pharmaceutical world, you can also call drugs or drug substances. So let's understand the world of pharmaceutical industry in the form of story of a medicine or story of a drug. How is a drug born? आप अपने घर पे देखते हैं और आप खुद अभी 17-18 साल के हैं. You must have used a lot of medicines during your lifetime. How are the drugs born? ये कहाँ से एक स्ट्रिपैक क्रोसिन का हमारे घर पे आ जाता है, या एंटीबायोटिक्स का, या कोरोना की वैक्सीन? How are they born? So the story starts when there is a need, in the form of a disease. The very real example, very recent example that you have witnessed is corona. But let's not stress too much about corona. It still gives us, those frightening jitters. Let's talk about, cancer. Or let's talk about diseases like AIDS, which are so prevalent throughout the world. But where did it start? तकरीबन अभी से 100 साल पहले हमने एड्स के बारे में इतना नहीं सुना था कि किसी को एड्स है. Probably वो बीमारी ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट थी, लेकिन it was not detected, तो उसकी दवाई नहीं बनी. So the story starts when a disease is detected. So it starts on one day when a lot of people start getting similar kind of symptoms of a disease. And then the doctors decide and give that disease a name. For example, AIDS, when it becomes so prevalent throughout the world that similar symptoms start arising from the United States of America, from Europe, from South Asian countries, from China. And we understand that this is now a disease. Some new organism has entered our earth. कोई ऐसा organism जो अभी तक नहीं था. It could be a bacteria, it could be a virus, it could be a fungus. In case of AIDS, it was a virus. So this AIDS virus started infecting people and started killing people. So doctors became very panicky. They could not find a treatment for this virus. And they started contacting the pharmaceutical industry, from where all medicines arise. They gave their requirement to the pharmaceutical industry कि ये नई बीमारी अभी है, बहुत फैल रही है, जानलेवा बीमारी है, आप हमें इसकी दवाई बना के दीजिए. So डॉक्टर का रोल एंड हो गया दवाई की डिमांड देने के बाद. Now this is called market analysis. The market, which is the doctors, have given their requirement to the pharmaceutical industry. Pharmaceutical industry now comes together. All the chemistry people of the pharmaceutical world come together. They find out this is an AIDS virus. अब हमें एक chemical चाहिए जो इस AIDS virus को body के अंदर जाके attack करके मार सके, लेकिन body के normal cells को harm नहीं करे. How are we going to bring out that chemical in this world? So they do hundreds of permutations, combinations. तो पहले एक chemical A and B they mix, they come out with a new formula, they test it on the virus, it doesn't work. then one more, and the story continues till they have hundreds of such chemicals, which are called chemical entities. Sometimes this chemical entity is able to work outside the body. Uske sare test ho jate hain. There is a chemical and there is a virus. The chemical attacks the virus and kills it. But when the clinical trials happen, that is when this chemical is injected into a person's body, then there are some effects which are called side effects. So this chemical starts harming the normal cells of the body as well. अब हमें दवाई चाहिए, जहर तो नहीं चाहिए. So what happens? This chemical entity also fails. The story starts again. The chemists come again together, start working on another chemical entity. Now, this is not one pharmaceutical industry which is working on this kind of a model. There are thousands of companies across the world whose people are working separately to bring out that one chemical which kills the AIDS virus. It takes 10, 15, sometimes 20 years to come out with a successful chemical entity which can successfully kill this virus. This is called new chemical entity, that is NCE. And I can see there's something wrong with my, so this is called new chemical entity. And let me show with my camera. I hope it yeah, there's something wrong with the camera, so I'll survive till the time it is there. You can hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, so this new chemical entity, which is discovered by the scientists now, is able to kill the AIDS virus successfully. Now what happens? एक company है 10,000 में से जिसने ये नया chemical entity discover किया है. What will happen now? They patent it on their name. Some company which has spent crores of rupees, some company which has spent 20 years to discover one chemical entity which can kill the AIDS virus. They patent it on their name. Patent ka kya matlab? That chemical entity belongs only to them. They are the sole proprietors which can sell this medicine in the world. Nobody else can. So this is called monopoly. Monopoly of that industry to sell that medicine to the world. So they make money by selling the medicine for which they have spent time, for which they have spent energy, for which they have spent crores and millions and billions of rupees. So now what you have, where has the story reached? We have got a new chemical entity, which is manufactured by this company alone. This company starts marketing throughout the world and starts making a lot of money. But at the same time, there are regulatory agencies which keep a watch that this chemical entity which is now called a drug is in the market. कि उससे कोई side effect तो नहीं होते हैं, जिन लोगों को वो दी जा रही है, उनको adequate amount में relief मिल रहा है या नहीं मिल रहा है. So these regulatory agencies start working. They work nationally also, internationally. Each country has got its own agency which works in this.
And the camera is not working.
Yeah, it's some issues coming in between. If it doesn't work, I'll switch to the mobile in a while. But let's see. I hope it does still work. Just give me a moment. Recording in progress. Yeah, it says some. That's the reason I like interacting face to face more.
Yes, now it is visible.
Visible? Audible as well?
Yes,
There's no echo in the voice, right?
no, no.
Okay. So we move to a new, sorry for this interruption, because it takes so long for the drug to get discovered that the interruptions happen technically also in between. So after now the regulatory agency puts entire effort about either having the medicine approved or not approved. Once it is approved and it is in the market, then also it keeps total control कि ये जो नई दवाई मार्केट में आई है उससे कोई साइड इफेक्ट्स तो नहीं हो रहे हैं. कई बार ये साइड इफेक्ट्स 5 से 10 साल बाद भी पता लगते हैं और मार्केट से वो दवाई को विड्रॉ कर लिया जाता है. Till this time, the story does not end. The medicine is in the market, but there comes a time when the patent of this medicine expires. What does that mean? That the market becomes open to all the other pharmaceutical companies. और यही टाइम होता है जिसके लिए सारी कंपनीज आस लगाई बैठी होती हैं कि कब उस इंडस्ट्री का पेटेंट का टाइम खत्म हो and we are able to create copies of these medicine and sell it to the market. Ultimately, it's all about money. Now, all these companies, and India is the king of such medicines which are called generics. These medicine जिसका पेटेंट अब expire हुआ है and all the other companies which are trying to create this medicine is called a generic medicine. Why is generic medicine cheaper than the patented medicine? Because these companies have not spent 20 years. They have not spent so much amount of money to discover that medicine. What do? They take the original medicine and they create copies of this medicine and sell it in the market. Therefore, this medicine is called a generic medicine. And major generic medicine manufacturers are present in India. So when the AIDS virus medicine, all the combination of medicines which are given for AIDS expired, the market opened to a lot of companies, and a lot of such generic medicines flooded the market. Again, for a generic medicine to come into the market, you need regulatory approvals. मतलब आपको सरकार से उस दवाई को बना के बेचने के लिए अप्रूवल चाहिए. अप्रूवल मिल गया, मेडिसिन बन गई. कहाँ बनी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट्स में. और किसने बेचा उसे? द मार्केटिंग पीपल go and sell the medicine information in the market and doctors can procure it from the market. Or the patients can procure it, the hospitals can procure it in the market. अब ये जो हमने इतनी सारी स्टोरी सुनी about the birth of a medicine from the demand which comes from the doctors till the time market is sold in the market, the medicine is sold in the market, the entire work which is called the life cycle of a medicine is done by none others than people which are called pharmacists. Somebody who is carrying a degree of pharmacy. B Pharma is the initial degree, that is Bachelor of Pharmacy, and people who want to study more can follow it up with Masters in Pharmacy and PhD. Starting from the first work which is done by a medicinal chemist to the drug discovery process, to manufacturing, to patenting, to regulatory approvals, the entire work is done by the people who are called pharmacists. So you my dear children, are going to be future pharmacists who will be involved in the drug discovery process, drug selling, drug manufacturing process, which has happened from the past and happening till now. Now, why are we talking about the changing landscape of pharmacy profession? ऐसा क्या बदलाव आ गया है in medicine, in treatment now, which never existed before? Why is the demand suddenly more? आप अपने आसपास भी देखते होंगे आजकल कंप्यूटर साइंस इंजीनियरिंग से ज्यादा बच्चे फार्मासिस्ट बनना चाहते हैं. ऐसा क्यों? ऐसा क्या बदलाव आया है पिछले 2 साल में that there is a changing landscape of pharmacy profession? दवाइयों की जरूरत पुरातन काल में भी थी, जब हमारे पूर्वज बहुत बीमार होते थे या युद्ध में जाते थे, हर्ट हो जाते थे, they were wounded, they came back wounded and they had to be treated. तब वैद होते थे, यूनानी दवाइयां होती थी. उसके बाद धीरे धीरे साइंटिफिक हो गया, एलोपैथी आ गया. होम्योपैथी was always a parallel kind of alternate medicine system. Then there were also at the same time Ayurveda, there are Patanjalis and all which are there. लेकिन अभी ऐसा क्या बदलाव आया है हमारी इंडस्ट्री में that everybody wants to get into the pharmaceutical industry? ऐसा क्या पैसा बन रहा है pharmaceutical industry से? You will see pharmacists make a lot of money because this diseases are something which are never going to die. पहले क्या था, एक फॉर्म का बैक्टीरिया है, वो म्यूटेट होके दूसरा फॉर्म ले लेता है. सो बीमारियां दिन प्रतिदिन बढ़ रही हैं, लाइफस्टाइल डिजीजेस बढ़ रही हैं. दिस इज वन इंडस्ट्री which is never going to get into recession. So what will happen? There will be more and more demand of medicines, more sophisticated medicines. पहले लॉन्जिविटी क्या थी? हिंदुस्तान में लोग कितना जीते थे? 60, 65, 70 साल तक. अभी 90, 95 साल तक की जिंदगी is not unheard of. That you cannot have people living till the age of 90. How? Because there are treatments available. पहले high blood pressure होता था, but it went undetected. Then pharmacists work hard to bring out a high blood pressure medicine or an antihypertensive, and that's how the longevity increased, because people did not die of high blood pressure. People used to die of cancer. Then all the pharmacists got together, and the pharmaceutical industries put in a lot of money in the R&D, and slowly the longevity increased. There was treatment available for cancer, and the treatments, there were more treatment options. So this is one industry which is recession proof. You will never be jobless in your life, provided, yes, you are competent to serve the industry that you're working in well. The changing landscape started in 2019 December. That was when the first COVID virus, that's why it's called COVID-19, the first coronavirus was found out in China. It started with some people falling sick in China and dying because of the corona disease. Slowly, or rather, in 2 to 3 months, it spread all over China, and then very rapidly, it spread across the world. COVID-19, in fact, was declared a pandemic on 11th of March 2020. That was, and very, very quickly, lakhs of people started dying from this disease. Now, the pharmaceutical industry went into a state of panic, because the only medicine that was available at that time was crocin or paracetamol. Paracetamol was the only medicine which was working against fever, which came during corona pandemic. But there were symptoms other than the fever also. People's lungs were getting infected. लोगों को सांस की प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी, जिसकी वजह से बहुत जल्दी they were dying. There were a lot of death. Pharmaceutical industry went into panic because there was no treatment available. There was no vaccine available. Now, why vaccine?
Because a drug substance or a medicine is a product which either treats a disease or prevents a disease. Treats मतलब बीमारी का इलाज करना, prevent मतलब बीमारी होने ही नहीं देना। अब ये ऐसी लाइलाज बीमारी थी जिसका इलाज फार्मास्यूटिकल इंडस्ट्री के पास नहीं था, तो उनको लगा कि हमें एक ऐसी ड्रग होनी चाहिए जो हम दें और ये बीमारी हो ही नहीं लोगों को। एंड व्हाट इज दैट कॉल्ड? इट इज कॉल्ड अ वैक्सीन, something which is given to an individual which prevents the occurrence of that medicine, occurrence of that disease. But so pharmaceutical industry went into jitters. Nothing like that was available in the market. There was panic all around. Or usi time the pandemic also brought to light lot of inequalities which were there in healthcare globally. हमने ऐसा देखा कि जो गरीब आदमी था, माइनॉरिटीज में थे, या फिर माइग्रेंट्स थे, या ऐसे लोग जिनको ऑलरेडी क्रॉनिक लाइफस्टाइल डिजीजेस थी, जैसे हाई ब्लड प्रेशर, जैसे कैंसर, जैसे लिवर डिजीज, किडनी डिजीज, लंग डिजीज, जिनको ऑलरेडी बीमारियां थी, वो लोग कोविड-19 से डिस्प्रोपोर्शनली अफेक्ट हुए। लाइक नॉर्मल इंसान को क्या कोरोना का इफेक्ट था, और इन लोगों के लिए कौन लोग? जो क्रॉनिक डिजीजेस थे, या जो गरीब थे, माइग्रेंट्स थे, जिनके पास हेल्थ केयर एक्सेसिबल नहीं था, they were affected more than the normal people for, against the COVID pandemic. So that was the time when we, especially in India, but yes, across the world as well, realized that healthcare is not accessible. जो नॉर्मल इंसान है उसको हॉस्पिटल में बेड्स नहीं मिल रहे थे, दवाइयों की बहुत कमी थी देश में और ग्लोबली ऑल्सो. दैट वाज द टाइम द लैंडस्केप स्टार्टेड टू चेंज. वेरी क्विकली वी रियलाइज्ड दैट द कंज्यूमर इज नॉट not say happy also. The needs were, there is a sick person. Pharmaceutical industry is not able to bring out medicines which will kill that virus or put an end to that disease. And it was not only in India, but the effect was felt globally. And I will not say beds were not available or hospitals were not available. Even medicines were not available which could properly treat and kill the virus. That is when the landscape started to change. We realized in India that most of the API मतलब active pharmaceutical ingredient, ये क्या होता है? हम अखबार में तब पढ़ते थे bulk drug. So this is a substance or a chemical which is required to prepare the final medicine. We realized in India, majority of this bulk drug was coming from China. So when this pandemic happened, the entire logistics and supply chain was broken. There were no, logistics. Nobody was able to understand the logistics. There was no bulk drug which was coming from China. Ultimately, there was shortage of even bulk drugs to manufacture the final medicine in India and elsewhere in the world, including the United States. Yes, US being such a big country, such a developed country, even there was a shortage of medicine. क्यों मेडिसिन की कमी थी? क्योंकि जो रॉ मटेरियल चाहिए वो मेडिसिन बनाने के लिए वो सारा चाइना से आता था. चाइना से आना बंद हो गया. The country realized that we are not capable of preparing medicine because of the shortage of API. Now, what changing landscape happened? In India, government came out with various initiatives for bulk drug manufacturers. अगर आप एक फैक्ट्री डालना चाहते हैं जहां पे आप ये दवाई का रॉ मटेरियल बनाएंगे, तो आपको सरकार की तरफ से बहुत ज्यादा सब्सिडी मिलती है. You are being subsidized. You are being given land on subsidized rate. You are being given lot of facilities, as in quick regulatory approvals. You are being given, lot of contracts come into you because you are the only manufacturer of bulk drug to give to the medicine makers or manufacturers. So the government came out with various schemes to cause people, जैसे एक startup India campaign आया पहले, make in India campaign आया, all this started because of these reasons. The government wanted कि ये जो raw material है जिसकी वजह से हमारे देश में problem आ रही है, that should also be manufactured in India. So that was the changing landscape, step one, which was taken in the pharmaceutical industry. Also, we realized that very less R&D or research and development work was happening in the pharmaceutical industry. You know, India is called the pharmacy of the world. Why is it called the pharmacy of the world? Because I take back to my initial conversation, there is a category of medicine which is called generics. That means these are copy of the original medicines. Generics are manufactured in bulk in India. In fact, India provides generic medicines to all the countries of the world. More than 200 countries of the world are supplied generic medicines by India. India में generic manufacturers की मात्रा सबसे ज़्यादा है. So around 40% of the globe's needs of medicine are done by India. Generics we were making well. We are good in copying those medicines. Original medicine लिया, copy किया, bulk में बनाया, करोड़ों medicines बनाए और market में बेच दिए. But when it comes to research, something like a COVID pandemic, जब उसके लिए दवाई बनाना था, तो इंडिया में कोई भी कंपनी की R&D उस पे काम करने की क्षमता नहीं रखती थी, because we are our manufacturing companies or our pharmaceutical industry does not has the capability of research and development. One, because research takes a lot of money, research takes a lot of time, 10 to 15 years for a new medicine to come into the market. So we realized that our research capability was much, much less. So the step number 2, which happened, was our pharmaceutical companies started to invest some portion of their earnings into future research, which was much, much needed. Third, our regulatory agencies realized that a very long process of approval also discourages pharmaceutical industries from putting their money into the R&D. अगर आपकी pharmaceutical industry है, for example, आप उसमें 10 करोड़ रुपए अभी लगाते हैं R&D में, और आप देखते हैं कि आपकी मेडिसिन को मार्केट में आने के लिए अप्रूवल्स इतने स्ट्रिक्ट हैं कि 20 साल लग जाता है मार्केट में आने के लिए. Do you think it is a good investment? No, you will feel, why should I spend so much amount of money, block my money and wait for so long कि कब सरकार मेरी ड्रग को अप्रूव करेगी, कब मैं उसे बेच पाऊंगा. तो सरकार ने वो नॉर्म्स भी आसान कर दिए. Now, because especially it was a pandemic time, the vaccine was approved by regulatory agencies in no time. काफी सारे टेस्ट थे जो स्किप कर दिए गए. अगर एक कंट्री में एक मेडिसिन अप्रूव हो रही है तो दूसरी कंट्री ने उसको टेस्ट करना मैंडेटरी नहीं रखा. आइडियली अगर आप इंडिया में मेडिसिन बनाते हैं, आपको यूरोप में बेचना है, तो यूरोपियन एजेंसीज अपना टेस्ट करते हैं उसका. अगर आपको यूएस में बेचना है तो यूएस में अलग से टेस्ट होंगे, अलग से अप्रूवल होगा. सो बिकॉज ऑफ दिस कोरोना टाइम्स, one approval which happened in one country was accepted by another country. So the approvals happened faster and the medicines, the vaccines started coming quickly to the market. The landscape was changing so fast that so many people got interested into the pharmaceutical industry. And the government came out with various schemes. The highest the maximum talked about topic, आप लोगों ने देखा होगा पैंडेमिक के टाइम में सबसे ज्यादा बातचीत आप किस चीज की करते थे? दवाइयों की. उसके बाद किसकी? वैक्सीन की, आपका वैक्सीन लग गया, सरकार ने वैक्सीन अप्रूव कर दिया, अब 18 साल के बच्चे को लग रहा है, अब 12 साल को लग रहा है. Everybody in the world is talking about the medical jargons, that is the terms which are recognized by pharmaceutical industry. That is what is called the changing landscape of pharmaceutical industry. Not that pharmaceutical industry was not in demand earlier, but in the last 2 years, the landscape has changed so fast. The government has brought out schemes like nothing before. जैसे पहले फार्मर्स के लिए स्कीम निकलती थी, वैसे ही अब स्कीम्स फार्मास्यूटिकल इंडस्ट्री के लिए निकल रहे हैं, बिकॉज वी वांट टू बिकम सेल्फ सफिशिएंट. आत्मनिर्भर भारत वाला जो नारा प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी ने दिया कोरोना के टाइम पे, क्योंकि हम ऐसी ही इंडस्ट्री सेटअप करना चाह रहे हैं जिनसे हम दूसरे कंट्रीज के ऊपर निर्भर नहीं रहे अपनी मेडिकल नीड्स को फुलफिल करने के लिए. अब उस चेंजिंग लैंडस्केप में आपका क्या रोल है और हमारा क्या रोल है is what we need to understand. We are an educational institute, we are academicians on the other side, whereas you, my dear students, are on the other side, where we have to give you the right skills. You have to learn the right skills. You have to learn the skills not only to become a successful pharmacist, but also a successful businessman. हो सकता है कल को आप अपनी फैक्ट्री डाल लें, so you also have to learn the skills of being an entrepreneur. What regulatory approvals are required, कौन सा फॉर्म भरना है, कहाँ पे अप्लाई करना है, कैसे लैंड लेना है, कौन सी दवाई बनाना है, कौन से मशीनें लगाना है. All these things are part of skills which might not be taught in the curriculum of your B Pharma. These are the skills that you will learn in your classroom. When your teachers come and they speak to you generally about the pharmaceutical industry, those are the skills you need to learn. If you become a businessman, you start having your own industry, and what you need to do, you need to know the analytics as well. Something again that you might be reading in the newspapers, something called data science, something called business analytics. Suppose आपको क्रोसिन बनाने की फैक्ट्री खोलनी है, what will you do? कहाँ पे आप खोलेंगे फैक्ट्री? जहाँ पे ऑलरेडी 10 फैक्ट्रियां हैं, जो ऐसी दवाई जो ऑलरेडी मार्केट में बहुत प्रेवलेंटली अवेलेबल है, आप ऐसा क्या बनाएंगे कि वो मार्केट में आपकी दवाई बिके? कौन सी मार्केट में जाके आप वो दवाई को बेचेंगे? All these things are business decisions. How will you make these business decisions? For making these business decisions, you should know analytics. अभी तक क्या ग्राफ रहा है इस दवाई का? सपोज आपको क्रोसिन बनाना है, कब क्रोसिन बननी शुरू हुई, कितने और मैन्युफैक्चरर्स हैं जो बनाते हैं, कहाँ बनाते हैं, कहाँ बिकती है ये दवाई, और कितनी बिक सकती है, मार्केट डिमांड क्या है, सप्लाई क्या है, कहाँ पर आप फैक्ट्री डालें जहां पे आपको चीप लेबर मिल जाए, चीप रॉ मटेरियल्स मिल जाए, कौन सी मार्केट में जाके आप बेचेंगे. All these are called business decisions. How will you make these business decisions to fit in this landscape of pharmaceutical industry, the very hit landscape of pharmaceutical industry? You need to learn analytics. आपको कंप्यूटर नॉलेज होना चाहिए. यू हैव टू लर्न हाउ यू विल प्रिडिक्ट द मार्केट ऑफ द फ्यूचर. अगले 10 साल में आप कहाँ ग्रो करेंगे, 20 साल में आपका बिजनेस कहाँ ग्रो करेगा. यू नीड टू लर्न डेटा साइंस. क्या पुराना डेटा था, उससे आप एक्स्ट्रापोलेट करके अपने नए बिजनेस को कहाँ कहाँ ग्रो कर सकते हैं. दैट इज व्हाट यू नीड टू लर्न. इफ यू हैव टू गो सेल योर drug or your medicine into the market, you should know the selling skills. What are the selling skills? You need to know communication. आपको बात करने का तरीका, उठना बैठना, जैसे बोलते हैं हिंदी में, जिसको अच्छी सेलिंग आती है वो गंजे को भी कंगी बेच सकता है. So those marketing skills you need to have. These are certain skills which I will not say you are born with. You can definitely learn. And lot spend time in teaching analytics, in teaching modeling skill to find a career that suits your personality and that suits your attitude. You don't have to stop by just reading your curriculum. And let me tell you, it's a bitter truth. ये बहुत harsh reality है कि हम 4 साल बी फार्मा करेंगे और हमें धड़ाधड़ 6, 7, 10 लाख की नौकरी लग जाएगी. 10 लाख की नौकरी लगाने के लिए you need to learn extra. You are at the right platform where we are going to provide you the medium to take these skills. But it is up to you that how much you are able to extract out of this. Lot of certification courses will be offered to you during your 4 years of study at Lloyd. It is up to you how much advantage you take of this opportunity. In fact, this foundation course that we are starting from tomorrow forms the basis of those skills. This is step 1 for your journey to become a successful pharmacist, so that this booming industry, which was booming since the last 100 years, like I said, it's a non-recession industry. But in the last 2 years, you must have heard about nutraceuticals. कितने लोग हैं अभी जो कैल्शियम, मैग्नीशियम, जिंक टैबलेट्स लेते हैं to boost the immunity. अगर आप बीमार नहीं भी हैं तो भी आप दवाइयां लेते हैं जिससे आपकी immunity strong रहे. Who is making these medicines? Who is manufacturing them? Who is selling them in the market? It is the job of pharmacists. You have taken admission at such a booming time when you can make your career into a very, very bright future. All you need is that attitude to excel, attitude to learn, attitude to gain something which is beyond curriculum, which is beyond your books. For this, you have to read a lot. Your mentors and teachers, we will all be giving you articles to read. We will be giving you YouTube videos to watch. You will be engaged in various activities in which when you participate, you will see is a learning step. Each activity will make you into more skilled, professional that you are soon going to be. I want to talk a lot about the pharmaceutical industry, how it grew, how the GDP was affected by pharmaceutical industry. But I feel that because it is a foundation program that we are starting, तो जितनी बात हमने आज करी है एक दूसरे से with a small glitch in the video is sufficient for you to lay that base of pharmacy profession. क्या है pharmacy profession? What is the story of a medicine? How the landscape has changed in the last 2 years? Which industry are you stepping into? How bright is your future? And what is the requirement from you as a student? I hope it is all clear to you. And we shall be interacting more online till your classes start in the campus, which will be very, very soon. As soon as we hear from the university, we shall be the first institute to start the classes and interact more often. Till then, over to you, Dr. Shilpa. You can sum up the session. And if the students have any questions, I shall be more than happy to answer all the questions related to college, course, or the profession. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Students, if you have any queries, you may please write down in the chat box and I shall read them for you on behalf of you. I hope, students, you must have been acquainted with some idea about the pharmacy profession and would advise that from now on, you must keep noting down important points which might help you during the 4-year degree course. Thank you so much, ma'am, for motivating and interacting with our students. I guess there is one hand which has been raised up, Shivam Pandey. Shivam, if you want to ask something, you can, Preeti ma'am, can he unmute and ask the question?
Ma'am, I have given him the right.
Okay.
Shivam, please unmute yourself.
I guess maybe by mistake he raised his hand. Mohammed Kamran. I guess by mistake he raised his hand. Students, if you have any queries, yeah, ma'am. There is one question from Harshit Agarwal. Is there a difference in a chemist and a pharmacist?
Yeah. So, Harshit, thanks for your question. Chemist and a pharmacist. Can you hear me?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think somebody else is also unmuted. There's some noise.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Harshit, there is technically no dictionary difference between chemist and pharmacist. If you look up into the English dictionary, chemist and pharmacist mean the same thing. But technically talking from a pharmaceutical industry point of view, pharmacist is overall everybody who has qualified the degree of pharmacy, whether B Pharma, D Pharma, is a pharmacist who has got the right to prepare a medicine or dispense a medicine is a pharmacist. Whereas chemist is a person who works in the chemistry department in a pharmaceutical industry, that is technically. लेकिन हिंदुस्तान में chemist जो word use होता है is mainly for people who dispense the medicine at retail pharmacy stores. So dictionary meaning they are both the same. You can swap a chemist to a pharmacist also. They can be used interchangeably.
Yes. I hope Harshit. you are okay
Hello,
with-
hello, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Abhishek Kumar Chaudhary. Yes, please speak.
यस मैम मैंने अक्सर मैम मैंने बहुत बार देखा है कि आई एम एबल टू स्पीक इन हिंदी और इंग्लिश.
हाँ हाँ, आप हिंदी में बोलिए बेटा.
मैम मैंने कई बार अक्सर देखा है कि मतलब कितने लोग होते हैं ना कि फार्मेसी कंपनी जिसकी आप बात कर रहे हो ना, फार्मास्यूटिकल्स कंपनी, उसमें मैंने अक्सर देखा है मैम कि कई दफा बीएससी ग्रेजुएट वगैरह भी फार्मासिस्ट का जॉब प्ले कर रहे होते हैं.
बिल्कुल आपने ये सही बात बताई है. बीएससी केमिस्ट्री, बीएससी के बहुत सारे ग्रेजुएट्स होते हैं और एमएससी एज वेल, बिकॉज देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ chemistry people also in the industry. So they also work in the industry, but they are not as capable as pharmacists. The right of this job is for pharmacists. So they are not paid as well as a pharmacy. अगर 10 लोग इंटरव्यू के लिए बैठे हैं और एक पोजीशन है और उसमें एक बी फार्मा और 9 बीएससी हैं, तो कंपनी आइडियली चूजेस अ बी फार्मा कैंडिडेट, क्योंकि जो आप पढ़ते हैं 4 साल में वो बीएससी के स्टूडेंट्स नहीं पढ़ पाते हैं एज यू नो द स्टूडेंट्स. So that is why they work, but the industry still demands pharmacy graduates as well. But yeah, nobody can stop an industry if they want to hire BSc graduates and hire BSc as well. Not as competent as a pharmacy graduate. But there are certain jobs, जैसे drug inspector की job है, उसके लिए BSc cannot apply for a drug inspector job, which is a government job. Only pharmacy graduates are eligible. There is something called pharmacist at hospitals. Again, you need a degree of pharmacist to apply there. BSc cannot apply for that. Retail pharmacist, if you want to have a distributorship, then you need a pharmacy degree to get the license for selling the drugs. That is all done purpose only by people having pharmacy degrees. And in pharmaceutical industries also, at all the positions in R&D, major requirement and choice of the pharmaceutical industry is pharmacist degree only.
Ma'am, there is one more question. What is the difference between MBA in pharmacy and MPharm?
Yeah, so MBA in pharmacy, MBA is about marketing. It's more about business. Whereas M-Pharma is totally in R&D. When you have to get into, that is more research based. So when suppose you have to work on one particular topic, something like fever. अभी आप इतना समझेंगे नहीं. जैसे बुखार है, आपको सिर्फ बुखार पे ही काम करना है, उसकी दवाई बनानी है या उसके लिए कोई नया प्रोडक्ट बनाना है, कोई नया कैप्सूल, दवाई, सिरप कुछ बनाना है. So you do M-Pharm, which is to do with research. You are doing research in a laboratory and then coming out with a product, which could be commercial, non-commercial. But MBA is about selling skills or business skills. You learn skills how to sell that medicine to the market. You learn skills about entrepreneurship, how to, suppose you have your own pharmaceutical industry, आप उसको कैसे run करेंगे, कैसे आप लोगों को recruit करेंगे. So, that's the difference between M.Pharm and MBA pharmacy. So it's based on pharmacy, but it gives you the management skills, the business skills related to the pharmaceutical industry.
Ma'am, there are n number of questions in
Yeah,
the chat
so
box.
I'll take it up. Ricky Chaudhary is asking whether they can prescribe medicines to themselves without going to the doctor. So Ricky, you cannot do that. The job of the medicine dispensing and medicine prescribing is of a doctor. जैसे डॉक्टर फार्मास्यूटिकल इंडस्ट्री में आके दवाई प्रिपेयर कर नहीं सकता, R&D नहीं कर सकते, उसी तरह जिसका जो काम है, it is the doctor's job to diagnose a disease and prescribe a medicine. So unfortunately you cannot do that. You will have to still go to the doctor, take them, but yes, you will have the knowledge of medicines. So अगर डॉक्टर आपको दवाई दे रहा है और आपको बोल रहा है ये आपको 3 बार लेनी है, so you will know as a pharmacist कि आपको खाने के बाद लेनी है, खाने से पहले लेनी है, आपको उस दवाई के साथ दूध पीना है या नहीं पीना है. क्यों? बिकॉज आपको ये समझ आ जाएगा बी फार्मा में कि कौन सी दवाई को खाने के बाद लेते हैं, कौन सी को पहले लेते हैं, किस दवाई का किस दवाई के साथ इंटरेक्शन है. तो अगर आपको एक दवाई ले रहे हैं और अभी आपको नई दवाई आपको डॉक्टर ने दी है, तो आप उसे बोल सकते हो लेकिन ये दवाई तो उस दवाई के साथ ले नहीं सकते हैं, या आपस में क्रॉस करती हैं, या ये दवाई खाली पेट लूंगा तो मेरे को पेट में अल्सर हो जाएंगे. So these things you will learn in pharmacy, how to take a medicine, but prescription you cannot do. You will have to depend on the doctor for that. I hope that's clear, Ricky. So Anand Tiwari wants to know what is the difference between D Pharma and B Pharma. So D Pharma is diploma and जो बी फार्मा है वो बैचलर ऑफ फार्मेसी है. सो जो फर्क डिप्लोमा और डिग्री में होता है, 2 साल का डिप्लोमा है, 4 साल का डिग्री है बी फार्मा हिंदुस्तान में, और इनफैक्ट बाहर के कंट्रीज में जो है वो फार्म डी भी होता है, जो भी हिंदुस्तान में भी आ गया, जो 6 साल का है, विच इज अ डॉक्टरेट ऑफ फार्मा. सो दैट इज द डिफरेंस. 2 साल में आप कितनी पढ़ाई कर सकते हैं और 4 में कितनी कर सकते हैं, दैट इज द डिफरेंस. Obviously, फिर आपको जॉब कैसी मिलेगी, that is also the difference. Yeah, of course you can. Very good question, Saurav. If you can study computer science in future, like coding, you should, because there is a job of medical coding, which is preferred by industry for the pharmaceutical people only, because you understand pharmacy. और अगर आप coding सीख जाते हैं, जो आप अभी भी कर सकते हैं, अभी आपके पास free time है 1-2 महीने, please learn coding. And medical coding के लिए भी आप future में you can be eligible. And Harsh Rana wants to know the working mechanism of a drug, which is exactly what you're going to learn, Harsh, in the next 4 years. The working mechanism of various drugs. कोई भी drug है एक तरीके से काम नहीं करती है. अगर आपको सिर दर्द है तो आपको ऐसी दवाई चाहिए जो सिर दर्द के पेन रिसेप्टर्स को अटैक करके उनको खत्म कर दे ताकि आपको दर्द ठीक हो जाए. अगर आपको बुखार है तो आपको ऐसी दवाई चाहिए जो बुखार के लिए एक्ट करे. अगर आपको वायरल इन्फेक्शन है, if somebody has got cancer, then you need a medicine which can go kill the cancer cells. So every drug has a different mechanism, but purpose same hai, is to stop the infection or stop the disease to where it is and ultimately finish the disease also. Disease को आपकी body से खत्म करना. But every drug will have a different mechanism of action. अगर किसी को high blood pressure है और बुखार है, so the drug which acts for high blood pressure and the drug which acts for fever is going to be different. Mechanism is going to be different. But the aim is the same. That is the drug goes into the body and acts so as to stop the disease where it is, to stop the spread of disease and ultimately to finish the disease from the body. So I hope that's clear, Harsh, and we can talk more about this when you are here, definitely. Pramod Dubey wants to know what is the annual income of B.Pharm graduate. Pramod, the annual income can start from as low as 2.5 to 3 lakhs. As low as that, and can go up to 10, 11, 12 lakhs also, depending on what is your caliber. We will put you across companies up to 12 lakhs also. It is up to you whether you are able to crack those interviews. The skill which is required by those companies, you should be having those skills. And most importantly, the attitude, the knowledge, what is required in that industry. Average you can aim for is around 5 to 6 lakhs after passing out B.Pharm. But it can start as low as 3, go up to 11 to 12 lakhs as well. Yeah. Is there anything else? Dr.
All
Shilpa,
queries have been-
I
yeah,
can't
hope
see it.
yeah, queries have been answered. I hope students, you are now satisfied with all the answers that you got from ma'am. So thank you so much, ma'am, once again for motivating, interacting with our students and explaining the concepts in such a simplified way, which we as teachers ourselves are learning from you always. So thank you so much once again, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for organizing this, and thank you to all the students who joined this session today. I hope there is more clarity. आप लोग please Google more about medical jargons. अभी आपके पास समय है. Read the strip of a medicine. जो दवाई घर पे भी पड़ी है उसको पलटिए, उसके पीछे पढ़िए क्या लिखा हुआ है, क्या ingredient लिखा है. Get your mind activated into learning and studying about drugs and various forms of drugs, like injection पे पढ़िए आप क्या लिखा है, tablet पे पढ़िए, capsule, syrup, क्या लिखा है उसके पीछे, क्या क्या डला है उसमें. And then during your foundation courses you can ask questions related to those as well. So thank you very much for joining in today, and we'll catch